Have you ever thought that the way we set up our goals might be the reason why we are all burnout? Hello, ladies. Welcome to another vlog. Today, I wanted to talk about New Year goals because I really think that they can be amazing, but at the same time that they can be setting us up for failure. I started thinking about this when the first weeks of January, when I was on vacation, I was sitting down with my notebook open and I started planning my New Year goals. And this year, I was super excited and motivated. I had even bought a planner which is actually amazing, in which you can write your goals, your monthly goals. Also, you can do a little bit of budgeting, a little bit of habit tracking. So I was there super focused with my coffee, writing it all down to have the perfect year, the perfect 2026. What happened next is that once I had written all of my goals, instead of feeling motivated, I started feeling heavy. Everything looked like a to-do list. And I think that my goals were not unique and that maybe you had some similar ones and maybe some goals that I had are the same ones that you have. For example, I had written down on my notebook to save an amount of money every month, to work out from 3 to 4 times a week, to read more, to not do so much dumb scrolling on social media, work hard to get a promotion, be in the best shape that I have ever been, eat clean, go to sleep at the same time every day, upload a YouTube video every week. So when I was rereading every goal that I had written, I felt so heavy. And I also thought that there might be something wrong with the way that we set our goals. I also thought that I am not the only one maybe committing this mistake and then feeling super heavy all over the year and ending up burnout because you're trying to achieve your goals, kind of feeling empty or not satisfied or feeling that we haven't done enough. And when the next year comes, you start all over again saying, okay, this is going to be my best year ever. When I realized that, I had a little bit of a crisis and I decided to stop. That's why I haven't posted yet. This is my first vlog of the year. So I stopped, lay down on my bed and thought. I also had like a very warm shower, to clear my thoughts. And I took some time to think about all of this. And eventually I did something that I think that can be very useful for everyone. I wanted to share that because now I think that I'm aligned with myself and I now have actual goals for this year that I'm happy and excited about. Something that I think that happens to a lot of us, or at least it happens to a lot of my friends, girlfriends, is that somehow we are all exhausted. We are very tired, we all work, we are all pursuing our career, we are also in relationships, or maybe not. Oh no. Sorry if you hear some noise. My neighbors, I don't know what they are doing. I think they are doing holes in the wall and there's some noise on the background. Sorry about that. As I was saying, most of my friends right now, when I talk to them, they all share the same, is that we are tired and there is always some sort of insatisfaction within us. And that might be because not right now that we live in the era of social media, we are constantly watching other people's lives, but only the bright side, which is the one that is shared online. And we somehow feel that we have to achieve a lot of stuff. I think that women nowadays, we feel that we have to have our own career, we have to be ambitious, and we have to get promotions and get amazing jobs and be, girl bosses. On one hand, then maybe you are in a relationship, maybe you're not. I am in one. I actually got engaged a month ago or something like that. I'm very happy about it. But I'm in a relationship. Maybe you are, or maybe you're looking for one, or maybe you're living your best life being single. But there's also the dating area and there are expectations for you there. There is also our aesthetic. We are always kind of expected to be pretty. So we feel that we have to eat super clean, that we have to be thin, that we have to work out I don't know how many hours a day, and we have to go to Reformer Pilates in amazing and nice studios. Nothing bad with Reformer Pilates. I actually like it. But it's kind of a pressure there, and all of that, especially if you are in your late 20s, as I am 28 right now, it feels overwhelming because you're also an adult and you have to make decisions like, Am I willing to buy a house? Am I able to buy one? So there are a lot of areas in our lives that we think that we have to change and improve and make it better. So when you're writing down your goals for 2026, you do it with a lot of motivation and really thinking that you're going to do it and that this way you're going to achieve something amazing. But what happens with the goals that we usually set, a traditional goal would be, this year I want to save 500, 300, 200, 100, 5 euros, I don't mind, euros a month. I want to save X amount of money every month. What happens with that is that 1 month that you do not achieve that precise amount, you're going to feel that you're failing. And we do not write our goals to feel like we're failing. We are writing down our goals to help us improve our lives. And after writing down all my goals, I realized that nobody would want to live in my place. This is a very fun fact, but I literally thought if an alien came to life and it had to invade Earth and it wanted to go inside of a human body, would that alien want to be in my place? And when I thought about that, I said, oh my God, I think if I were an alien, I wouldn't be in my own body, because my goals were all about working hard, learning more, working out. I don't know, everything was getting better, and better. And honestly, it felt exhausted. Like that was not a lifestyle that was sustainable. If I had try to achieve all those goals in the way that they were written, I know for sure that I would have burnout, because in 2025 there was a period in which I completely burned out, and since then I started going to therapy. And I think that maybe a lot of us, we are doing the same. And if you are there, I'm going to share what I did in case it can help you, or at least if it can help you think about the goals you set and if they are right for you or not, or if they are leading you to burnout as well. After stopping for a while and thinking, and I had that pause in which I had a shower and I reflected and blah, 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 I took action, because I really think it's important setting your goals and having a direction and putting all your efforts towards that direction in order to achieve something that you would like. But it has to be done properly. Otherwise, you're going to work a lot and waste a lot of energy and time and resources and do not get what you actually want. So here's exactly what I did. I opened my laptop and went straight away to ChatGPT, and I asked it to act as a therapist and also as a life coach and expose my problem. Here's the list. And what I feel is that I need to do a little bit more of introspection to be more conscious about what's going on inside me right now in order to set the proper goals. And also, as said, I do not want to set traditional goals or SMART goals as we do in our jobs. I want to set intentional goals, which would be something, I want to get this, so I can become that. I'll do an example so you understand what I mean with traditional goals and intentional goals. Traditional goals would be, I want to work out 3 times a week. An intentional goal would be, I want that working out is a habit in my life in order to age healthily so I can play with my grandchildren. There's an intention there when you're going to work out, which is something that you will do. There's a common thing in both goals. The second one comes from a healthy place, and you see the vision that someday that I'm working out because someday I'm going to be able to play with my grandchildren. It doesn't come from a place of punishment or being forced to do something. It comes from kind of pleasure. So when you're going to work out, you're going to be happy. And instead of thinking, oh my God, this week I only could work out twice instead of 3 times, you're going to say, okay, this week I did not have that time, but at least I made time to work out twice. And that is something that will get to my real goal, which is play with my grandchildren. Are we seeing the difference? I'm not saying that this has to be your goal, but I wanted to explain the difference of goals. So that's what I did. Asked ChatGPT to give me some exercises to do a little bit of introspection. First one was writing down everything that I thought that I wanted to do this 2026. And then I had to mark every item of the list with a color. And one was, mark this if you wouldn't do this if there was no social media. Mark this if this to-do or these items comes out from fear. And then mark this item if you're going to do this to prove something to others. And then you saw a lot of stuff and realized the game where all your goals are coming from. Second exercise actually came from my therapist, and it was choosing the 6 values that define my person, my 6 core values, and just 2 new values that I would like to incorporate in my person this 2026. And for me, I chose authenticity and self-respect. Why I chose these 2? Because as I am very ambitious, and maybe you are too, and maybe you're working super hard in your career as I am in mine, you are constantly trying to get better and being liked by your coworkers and your bosses and making good impressions and everything. So at some point, I started getting confused, like, am I doing this because I am this way? Am I being authentic? Or I am doing everything that I do just to impress others? And also the self-respect comes from, because as I want to be so good at my job, and I think that I'm doing a great job, I sometimes finish working very late. I leave the office at 8 or 8:30, and I'm not blaming anything on my job because I actually have very nice bosses. So it's not from that, but pushing myself so hard, it comes from me and my will to grow and level up and get promotions and blah, blah, blah. So I felt that I was not treating myself properly, not giving myself enough time to rest, for example. Third exercise was the Wheel of Life. If you don't know the exercise, just Google it, you will find it. But instead of rating from 0 to 10 how satisfied you are with that area of your life right now, you should ask yourself, what version of yourself is this area of your life reinforcing? The past one or the one that you want to become? And for me, for example, financially, maybe I am okay. I had achieved all of my goals from last year, which is fine. But I was doing a lot of stuff out of fear and not treating myself properly and not respecting me. I wasn't resting enough and not disconnecting from my work or whatever. So maybe the result was satisfactory, but not the way that I was approaching this area of my life. So that, in my case, got like a red mark, like, oops, this area needs some attention. So this way, after doing this third exercise, the Wheel of Life, I realized that there were some things that were a little bit fucked up in my life and that I needed to focus on. So finance, creativity, and health. And then we come to the fourth exercise, which was setting an intention for the whole year. An intention, not a precise goal, an intention. And for me, it was to design and live in a sustainable and pleasant lifestyle. So after having listed everything that I had in mind, all the to-dos that I wanted to do this year, choosing the 2 new values that I would incorporate, then doing the Wheel of Life and selecting the areas and then setting the intention. I want to have a nice lifestyle and I want it to be authentic, something that I really enjoy. Now the time comes from goals. And now we're setting goals for every area that we set before. And these goals must embrace the values that we want in our life. So if you wrote down your goals for 2026 and if you made it to this point of the video, well, first, thank you very much. But second, if you now feel that they might not be the best for you, because maybe you're going to burn out as I was 100% going to do with mine, maybe it is a good time to stop. You could try the same exercise I did. Otherwise, you can talk to ChatGPT and ask it for other exercises, but I really encourage you to stop for a second and think before you throw in your year and energy and focus and resources to the trash for goals that they are not authentic for you and that they are not aligned truly with you. They are just a mirror of what social media says that we have to achieve. Okay? So if you do not like Reformer Pilates, please do not go to Reformer Pilates. Okay. And very important, instead of setting traditional goals, I will do that. Please set intentional goals. I will do that in order to get that. So I will do this, which will allow me to get that in the future and make it come everything from a healthy spot. So that is my tip. Well, that was my experience and I just wanted to share it with you in case it helped you. And if you finally do some of these exercises, please let me know in the comments how it was. I would really, really, really love to hear from you. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!